Welcome back to another episode of Greatest as Let's Play series. Where did we leave it? Well, we had a number of items. We did introductory Thorncraft machines, which you can see through here. Made our first crucible, an infinite water source, and started research. And I've done some of the research. I'm going to do it throughout this episode, but not off camera, so you don't have to watch me go through all the minigame. And I've opened up Goggles of Revealing. Needs 4 leather, 2 gold, 2 thermometers. Show you what this does once we make it, but most importantly of all, we need 5 of each of the main elements and 3 of the order and entropy elements. To do that, we need to go and find some nodes. Now, sometimes when you're flying around, you're going to see these, and they're quite hard to see, so if you're fly around with a thermometer, and you'll be able to see them much better. An aura node. This is where you can recharge your wand. And if you look at the top left of the screen, if I press shift, you can see how much V is in each of the elements in the wand. They correspond to the same elements as the ones on the shard. But let's see if I can scan this. I can. This is an air and ignis. Now, the important point about this is if you drain this dry, if you pull all the elements out, it's going to have a good chance of breaking it. So there's 21 in each. Right now, I can't see them when I use my wand. And if I right-click my wand, you can see I start to get some of the elements. So I want to be very careful. There we go, 12 and 10, so maybe a little bit more. 9 and 7. Right, we're going to leave it like that. And ideally, you want to do this with as many nodes as you can find, mark the locations via landmarks, and recharge some of your wand as best you can at the start. We're going to get a lot better way of doing this in the future, but for right now, we do need to either fly around in bat form or run around, as your preference, and yeah, just recharge the wand, because we're going to go back and make one of the best items, at least when you're starting out in Thorncraft. The other really good thing is they give off light at night, so you find them much easier to see at night time. So now we're back, and we'll see if we can, if we have enough V to craft the Goggles of Revealing. So 2 thermometers, just the way we made them in the last episode, 2 pieces of gold, and 4 leather. So you can see this flasher on the outside. That's basically saying you need to provide me with these materials, or these amounts of V. Now that our wand has some V in it, it didn't have it when we first created it, we can drop it in place. You have to get this accurate. There we go. And we can pull out our goggles. As you can see, if I just bring the wand up, our V levels have gone down by the same amount. More importantly though, we've got Goggles of Revealing. And it doesn't look like anything's changed. Let me come and show you what's changed. Good, it's daytime. Down here at the end of the farms, and one of the reasons why I actually started it near a magical forest, is that silverwood trees, which are these trees, have a good chance of having a node in them. And in this case, I've actually got 2. 1, 2. That's very lucky. I almost never seen that anything like that before. Now, if I take off the Goggles of Revealing, you see, they're gone, or at least they're very hard to see. Yeah, you can't even see them if they're in trees. You can sometimes see them if they're in open air, but with the Goggles of Revealing, easy to see, and more importantly, you can see what elements are in them and how much. So now when you're recharging your wand, you need to make sure you leave at least 1 of each element in order not to break it. There's no way I can use that again just yet, so let's go up a little bit. Okay, this one's got 4 of each element. And it's a pure node, which is really, really good. See what a pure node does? It changes the biome all the way around it, all around here, to magical forest. And we can see that if I load up F3. I can then scan this one too. Or at least, you see one of the elements there I'm not yet got, so I can't scan it. Oh well, at least I've got the one up there. And again, I've got the one over in the desert we discovered, and there's a couple of others I've found as well. Enough to at least get a little bit of recharge, at least to start. And now that I've discovered these, maybe we'll be able to pull 1 or 2. Yeah, I don't want to go any further, especially not with the pure node. What I'm probably going to do as well is put a chunk loader right here. I think I'm at a range of my chunk loader. And one out here will just mean it can recharge while we're off doing other things. What I've also done is researched Greatwood Wand Core, which means I can get a wand with 50V storage, which is kind of useful. In order to make that, I need 3 Perditio, which I may already have. I do, good. A couple of Greatwood logs, and I've got a Greatwood rod. Still need Dan caps, and by all means, if you want to do that, you can just put iron end caps on them. The end caps generally lower the V cost, so as you can see right now, it's 5% above the cost listed in the Thaumonomicon. It's 105%, but the better wand caps will reduce that down, and then there's clothes as well, we can get to reduce it down still further. So everything's kind of all about efficiency and storage of V. And I've just researched the gold wand caps. So if I drop my wand in here, just as before with the iron, I'm going to need to make the same shape but add a gold nugget. So 1 wand cap and 2. And I'm probably out of Terra and Ordo. Okay, so let's see what it takes to make our upgraded wand. Whoops, that's the wand. 9 of each. And I'm going to be short. I need Terra, Ignis, Aqua, Ordo. So I'm going to need to go and recharge. Also, watch out for these obsidian totems, because they also have nodes in them, sinister nodes. So we're not going to want to get most of the elements off this, but I will certainly take the air off there, the Terra off there, and mark it down for later. Here we go again, another silverwood tree, again quite near the base. Got to get to the node. Order, Brizio, and something else that we don't know. Scanned it and recharge. And now, hopefully I've counted correctly. And yep, it's all locked in. Gold banded Greatwood wand. Now, just look at the research. Gold far superior, blah 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 blah. Takes no penalty when using the channel V. So that's the reduction in cost. If I drop this in, I need a recipe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, insufficient V. Okay, I'm going to need to go and recharge this wand anyway. But as you can see, this one's still 105. When we come back, this one will have some V in it as well, and we'll compare the actual two. It should be 100% if I remember rightly. And one of the most important early game researches to make is Node Preserver. And again, it's one of these ones at the lower left. Why? Well, now you'll always leave one V of every aspect in the node, unless you're sneaking, which we shouldn't be. So you don't have to be so careful anymore. Just right click and hold until it's down to 1, then leave. Again, a warning down here, if you use that base one that you start with, this doesn't apply and you can still break the node. One other note, when you make something like the goggles are revealing, make sure to scan them, because this is what the kind of thing that you get. Lots and lots of stuff. And one of the more important ones, at least for later, node in a jar. Again, that bottom left area. Don't worry about this, I'll show you this in the actual game. But basically, the nodes that you're recharging from, you can move them. And we're going to want to move them into a room off here somewhere. Maybe that way. Maybe a side room. It's going to want to be pretty close to this anyway, so yeah, maybe a side room. But more importantly, it requires 70 of each of these. And my wand holds 50. We're in a bit of trouble here. We can't make one of these node in the jars. So what we're going to need to do is make a better wand and get some discount to make it easier to use. And that's what we're going to research next. And here's an example of one of the impossible mini games. This is Infusion, which is what we need in order to craft a better wand now, because we can no longer make it in our arcane workbench. And since I know which actual items to actually include, I've done so, but I can't make the loop. It starts from this one, by the way, because I can't split it off either direction. I have to do it in one single loop, and there's only 6 items and not enough space on the board. So in this case, you have to just get rid of this and then use the items again to create a new version of it. And we're done. Infusion. One of the most important parts of Thaumcraft. And this is exactly what this center section is for. So if we have a look in Artifice, this is Infusion. So we're going to need to make items in the Arcane Workbench and just look at how expensive this is in order to make the central item. But before we make the central item, let's make these. These are quite good and straightforward to make. And here's our central altar. We need to make arcane stone bricks. And as you can see, there's a lot of V needed. Arcane stone bricks made from arcane stone blocks. And arcane stone blocks made from regular stone with shards and some more V. So let's get some stone. We may as well use up the V available on our original wand. Let's see what we have the most of. Probably air, it looks like. So let's get a quarter stack. And each one of these makes 9. And we're at a V already. So let's see first of all how many this makes. We want 4 of those. What else do we need? We need a pedestal in the middle and arcane stone blocks on the top. Fine, so here are our stone bricks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We want arcane stone blocks on top of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then need a pedestal, so Let's get rid of that. Get 2 of those, fine. One goes there. We just leave this block as a placeholder in the middle because we need something to actually drop this top block onto. And this top block is the expensive one. This one. 4 arcane stone blocks, an ender pearl, which I have in my inventory, thankfully, and 40 auto. This is where our other one comes in because it has enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ender pearl, runic matrix. Runic matrix on top. Destroy the middle block. I think that's it. Now we need to go and fill up again because we need 25 of everything in order to actually turn this into some abstract blocks into our multi-block form. So it's auto that I need the most of because it took 40 out. So be right back. And we're back, and as you can see, fully charged up again. Hopefully this works. There we go. This is an Infusion Altar. Amazing. So we're going to surround it in these. You can do this in a number of ways. You can just put one around each corner, each side. But you're going to need maybe 6 or more in recipes. So you could just do 2, one like here and one here. Or in this case, 3 aside, and that gives us, a grand total of 12. Now, I don't think there are any recipes with 12 things. Briefly to explain, you're going to be dropping items on top of these blocks, and they're going to be pulled into the middle, and these items will get used up in the process. Sometimes they get destroyed, so that's why we have more pedestals than we really need, just in case, and we can always arrange them, and I'll show you that in a second once I've created some these pedestals, which there's one like that. So I want to make some more of those. We needed this, didn't we? Yeah, insufficient feed with that one, so we need 7 for every pedestal. Got 8 available, so that's 1 pedestal taken care of. That's 10, so I need 70 of these. That should do us, hopefully. If I haven't counted right, then this really won't work. Yeah, 11. Oh, we got 2 for every one. Okay, I didn't need that many. And we're at a V again. So let me just put most of these down then. Then I've got to go out and recharge it again. And we'll just need a bit more for that last one. And the important point here is that when you're putting items onto these pedestals to be pulled in, it's important to be as symmetric as possible, and that's symmetric through the center. So if I put an item on here, make sure you put the other item on that one, straight through the center. Same here, this one, that one, this one, with that one, wherever you can. And it also helps to have candles around this, again symmetrically, monster heads, and all of those different kind of things, as long as they're symmetric, are going to try and absorb some of this stuff that we saw in the crucible. Sometimes that will appear, and we want to absorb it as much as possible. Now, the fuel for this is going to run around the outside, and this is essentia, the same kind of things that we've seen as elements in the research table. Here, we can pull out of items using a particular kind of machine we're going to be creating shortly, and then we're going to store it in jars through a pipe system, much like the Fluidux kind of system we've already seen. So probably over here, we'll have the machinery, and it'll be piped into jars around the outside, all the way along here, and all the way along here. And when we want to create something, it'll be pulled in from the jars into the center, and the items will be pulled into the center, and hopefully the item will appear at the end. If it doesn't appear at the end, yeah, bad things can happen. You'll probably see a live demonstration of some of those bad things once we start making items with this. But the main point of this, right to start with, is to get ourselves a better wand. We want to get something with over 50. And now I've opened up Infusion. Has it shown me with the wands? I wonder. Yeah, you see, all of these weren't visible before, but now they are. So this is the one we really want, the Silverwood wand core. And over here, down in this one, will be the Thaumium wand caps. So both of those are kind of really nice to have, really good to get. So let's work out how we're going to get the Silverwood wand core. And just before we get to that, Boots of the Traveller. That's what we wanted. These ones are going to make us walk faster, and we're going to need 25 Velatus, 25 Iter, and lots of different items. I don't have any raw fish. I'm going to need to get a few of those with a fishing rod. The rest I can probably make. Yeah, I can make that. Do I want to make the one first or the boots? The boots are always nice. And the boots are kind of what we came here for. Let's make the boots. So we're going to need to make the machines first. So can I make the machines to do this with? Okay, I'm going to want some water jars. They're just glass panes, birchwood slabs with some aqua. Fine. We're going to want some of these. Good thing I've got extra of these stone blocks. This is a furnace. You put items in here, it burns them up, turns them into the essentia that we use for fuel. That's going to need some stuff. Some V. And these are the Alembics. These extract the stuff out of that furnace and then distribute it among the tubes. So again, I may need to recharge the wand, to be honest. How much do I have on the wand? It's not too bad apart from air. We're going to need some air, so yeah, let's see how far we get. Alright, so oops. First I want my furnace, so I'm going to need another crucible. Furnace, that should be easy. Some iron. 7. 1 cauldron. Do we have any furnaces? No, probably don't, so just regular cobblestone should be fine. So handy having the elevators. So furnace in the middle. Is that cauldron or is it crucible we need? It's crucible. Fine. Drop that into the middle. Put blocks around the outside. Good thing these came in useful. Furnace. So the furnace we can put anywhere. We're going to need something to, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably, I'm going to put it down here and you'll see why in a little bit. But there's our furnace, and we can put some coal in there. It'll use it intelligently, so don't worry about wasting it. Okay. By the way, you can use Elementum in there as well. It's one of the researched items, but it's not that easy to make with this version. It becomes a lot easier in newer versions that aren't out just yet, and I'll obviously update you on those when we get to them. Where was I? Alembics, right. So we're going to need a silverwood log, which means chopping down a silverwood. I'm not too enthusiastic about it, but as long as it doesn't have any nodes in it, that's all good. Some gold. And we need one of those per alembic, so I probably want at least 2. So I want 5 gold, 6 gold, and some logs. Right. And here we are over top of the silverwood. Hopefully this one will give us a sapling, because that will be amazing too. Got to be lucky to get a sapling though. They're not particularly common. If you get one from even a single one from a tree, that's lucky. Getting multiple, you don't have much chance of that. Should make a scythe for this, but come on. Unlike regular trees, by the way, if you do see one of these yourself, if you do chop it down, you can't bone meal them to make them grow. It just does not work. You need a special item that can be created in our Infusion Altar, and we definitely will be creating one because I want more of those nodes, those pure nodes. And no saplings. Oh well. We do have the wood, which is what we wanted. And we wanted like 6 gold. Running low, could do with some more. And some iron, was it not? So, silverwood log, filters, auto, and aqua. It's fine. 1, 2. Oh, and a bucket. Okay, fine. So, ideally we want 2 of these. And some buckets. I really should have a bucket on me somewhere. Never mind. Any here? Ah, there we go. 2 buckets. Just what we wanted. Short of air. Yeah, I'm down to 2.5 air. Definitely short. Let me just dump all my ingredients in here. Yeah, actually there's enough for one. And that we'll put right about here, like that. Now, the reason why I put this one level below, oh, and if you can see down there in the distance, that's another node. It's underground, so they don't just appear above ground, they appear below ground, in the nether, all over the place, so keep an eye out. The reason why I put this one down is that you can stack these 5 high, and each of these can deal with one element at a time. So if we wanted Iter could be used by the first one, Victus by the next one, etc, etc, etc. And then all we have to do to connect them all is use pipes. Now, can I make the pipes while I'm here? They need things that I've not got. Quicksilver, 2 iron, glass, and gold. Definitely going to run short of gold. It's just 1 gold per 6 of these, and we're going to need a lot of pipes. Do we have any quicksilver? We do not. Okay, 2 ways to get quicksilver. Easiest way. If you remember the tree we just chopped down, see it right over there. Right here are these flowers called shimmer leaves. They normally use shears to pick them up, but if you don't use shears, you get silver leaf, quicksilver back. There we go. Why is that useful? Well, for this recipe for the quicksilver, but mainly you want the shimmer leaves themselves, so try to avoid doing this too much. You can also get it from another item, not important right now. So we wanted some glass and some iron we've got downstairs, some gold. Down to 1 gold. Right. I need some wood actually. Thanks. You'll do. So, quicksilver. Yeah, got some more iron in case I need it. Glass, was it? There we go. 1 set. 2 sets. We also want some jars, so this functions as a regular crafting table as well, so you don't obviously use V all the time. We have 4. Right, so what we would do is we would have them up there like that, and then we would at some point have the pipes coming across. Yeah. So anything we burn in this furnace is going to get pulled up into the Alembics. into this pipe system and then down into the jars. Now the jars will just fill up as they will. You need to have enough jars to cover every one of the elements that you're burning up, which is all good. I'm going to go and get some materials, come back once I've done all the rest of the alembics, and maybe a few more jars. So first I need to make some enchanted cloth, made just like this in the arcane workbench. 1, 2, 3. I don't need 3 particularly, but it's good use to have a spare. So if you look in here, each of these items could get destroyed. So I've got 2, a fish and a feather. So I can put them out in advance. So let's put our feather and our fish opposite. Then we want, one here and one here, and then our shards. You'll do. 1, 2. We also need some essentia in jars. I've already burnt some feathers, and that's what you can see here. I think it was about 16 feathers produced this much air, this much Volitio, or whatever it's called these days, Volitus. I'm going to do the same this time with boats. Just the regular Minecraft boats. And as you can see, our alembics are here. They're going to filter out into these pipes, and it's going to fill up. Here we are, ITER. And ITER is the other item we need down here. 25 Volatus even. 25 ITER. 42. And 2 so far, and some aqua. So it's not instant. This is the cycle on the right hand side, and the left hand side is the amount still in the system. It's going to get pulled in to each of the alembics and then down here. It's going to take a little bit of time to filter through. Be right back. There we have 28, and it's still going with some arbor and aqua. So we put the item we want to transform in the middle. Grab our wand. And let's hope this works. Watch for the items getting pushed off the pedestals or in any way interfered with. You see our essentias coming across from the jars. And there are the items. That's entirely normal. That's not one of the bad things that could happen. Okay, so it's completed, but I've got flux taint. That's one of the bad things. On the scale of things, that's not very bad at all. Give me my boots, and this is where things get faster. Go away, old iron boots. Boots of the Traveller. Here we go. And if I dash, much better. Things will get even faster than this later, but at least for now, this will keep us going and get us moving pretty fast. That looks like it's it for this episode. Second episode on Thorncraft. We've got our speed boots on, which are so good, along with the jetpack. Next episode, we're going to take this a little bit further. We're going to start probably moving in the jars. I'm going to demonstrate it once. And then, yeah, maybe we'll move on to more Thorncraft stuff. Thanks for watching.